Hi, this is Amy. Thanks so much for stopping by. This evening I'm going to do a brushstroke demonstration just for like a rose bush kind of a flowering flower, and it's going to be created out of the Folk Art and Animals Magenta and the sunflower, Folk Art sunflower. And I'm also going to be using my yellow ochre. All these are Folk Art and Animals this evening. My Wicker White, coffee bean, and then last but not least, my Thicket. Now, when you're doing this, if you create a similar design, you can actually go ahead and put some of the behind greenery in first, but for the purpose of doing the video, I will not be doing that because I just want to move on and move along with this. So I'll be kind of putting in the vines after I paint the actual flowers themselves. Alright, so let's get started on those. I am actually double loading my brush. And I just wanted to mention too that I will be painting this design then on a Pilsner beer glass in my next video, but I wanted to go ahead and do this brushstroke series so my videos are not too long. And when you're creating this flower that I'm going to be showing you, it can be either a 5 or a 6 petal flower. So basically you're just going to push your brush, and I am using a flat brush. Sorry, I forgot to go through my brushes here. I believe this is a 12, and it's a Folk Art brush. This is a Low Cornell, and it's a flat brush also. There's much paint on everything, I can't really see what it is. Probably around an 8. And then the other one that I'm using is just a liner brush. This is just a cheap liner brush to do part of the inside of the flower. Alright, so again, basically what I'm doing is just kind of doing a couple little strokes, pushing my brush down, and then swinging it back in. And then I'm going to come back over on this side and basically do the same thing. I mean, you can wiggle it a little bit more if you want more of a, you know, little design on the edges of the flower, but it's not really a lot of wiggling. It's just a little bit. Then here, I need to go over that one again. I'm also doing this demo on my palette paper, which is something I've used on several of my videos lately. And again, you can do it on whatever surface you have if you want to practice. If you want to use something that's affordable, whether you practice on like a gloss plate or wax paper. Wax paper is actually very good. It's really up to you. It's whatever your preference or your wallet can afford. I like either one because I really think palette paper moves nice and flows nicely. It's still pretty affordable. Wax paper is definitely affordable. And I apologize in the background, my furnace is running, so if you're hearing that noise, that's what that is. I do live in the Midwest, and we have had crazy weather. Had snow when we got up this morning, and yeah, so the furnace is running. Tomorrow it's supposed to be almost 70 degrees, so then we'll go the other direction. And I picked up a little green, sorry about that. Sure how I did that. Go back over it a little bit, get rid of some of that green. So I just am pushing down my brush, and you can kind of do some little petals like that. I guess that in all honesty it would be nice to do this with setting up your the greenery behind it first, or at least some of it, but for the purpose of the video, I didn't really want to do that. I just like to do them and keep moving. And then you may also hear my cat in the background. Apologize for that as well. He has come down to see me, and my dog is not wanting him to do that. Kind of scaring him a little bit. She's not actually bothering him, if you can hear him cry. She went back upstairs, and now she's coming back down. She can be a bully. I'm going to go back over this paddle here. I got green in my brush again. I nab it. I apologize. I have continued. I thought I started my video back up. I had to stop it to get my dog back upstairs. I apologize for the barking. She was after the cat, and I thought I had turned the video back on, but I didn't. So I went ahead and tapped in the centers using my Scruffy brush and the coffee bean and the yellow ochre. And you're just going around and just tapping. I mean, if you want to add different colors to it, you know, more than 2 colors, but I'm actually just starting to go in with the liner brush and do some line work. I'm trying to keep it light. This is not really my favorite brush to be using, but I can't find what I really wanted to use. So you're just going to come in here, and you can do it while it's wet still, it's okay. And just kind of, and bring it out a little bit. Just take your brush and do that. You're just on all of these, just going around, and you can do it, like I said, while the paint is wet. That's fine. Kind of mixing your colors together a little bit. And you can thin your paint out if you want. I didn't right at the moment. I didn't do it, but it would probably flow a lot nicer for you if you did. I'm just doing just light pressure, and then just kind of come pulling them up. Just touch and pull. Touch and pull. But you'll see why here in a minute when I'm saying it's not really important. You know, if you do it while it's wet, it doesn't matter. But you're going to go back in here and add some color to this. I think it's pretty. If you wanted it to be more green, or if you wanted a couple shades of green in there, definitely I could see that. I'm going to go back and add a little bit more on this one. Could definitely see that. And then just be careful you're not sticking your arms and jewelry and everything else into your paint, which I'm really, really good at. Actually, that's probably the one thing I am a pro at, is ruining clothes. It's probably the thing I do the best. Okay. So then I'm not even cleaning out my brush. I'm just going to go in and take some of these other colors that I've pulled. Now this one might be a little hard to see because the actual center is yellow ochre. But it's just kind of a base to kind of build on. I think it's pretty. You know, once you get it done, just kind of tap lightly if you can. Sometimes I do get a little heavy-handed on this as well. Then I am going to move over to the magenta and add some dots of that in. And you know, if you feel like it's mushing together too much, you can let it dry a little bit, or do it the faster way with either a heat gun of some sort or a hair dryer. whatever you have handy. Pretty simple little easy designs, aren't they? So basically my centers are going to have the yellow ochre, the magenta, and then of course underneath it has the coffee bean, and then I'm putting some of the sunflower in here just to give it, you know, a little bit more pop of color, since that yellow ochre is so similar. And then I'm also going to go in and add some Wicker White. Oh. And I'm not cleaning my brush off in between. If you feel like you need to, you know, that's up to you. For some reason I'm not pulling a lot of that paint up. Flatten it down a little bit. This is probably not the greatest brush to be doing it with. Like I said, it's not my favorite, but it's what I could find quickly. One of the problems we have in this household is that we do work out in our garage and we do work in the basement, or I do work in the basement. So we have a lot of our painting supplies and stuff are spread throughout those locations. So that can make it a little difficult sometimes to find things. Okay. And then a lot of times when I do this, then I'll go back in and just kind of go over it again, just to touch it up some with the main color. Okay, so there's my centers. Like I said, you can spend more time on them if you choose to do so, but I just happen to just want to do this to show you as a sample. Alright, so my next step is to move on to adding the leaves and the stems and such to the flowers. And like I said, this process would probably be a lot easier just to do it from the beginning instead of doing it at this point, but I'm doing it at this point. Don't necessarily like to make things easy for myself. And I'm just taking the vines or the stems or whatnot and just placing them randomly throughout. Not creating a real steady, straight line, solid line. Now I've kind of reversed it a little bit. Now I've got pink in my brush. But like I said, I'm not cleaning it out, so I actually switched to a different brush for this part. So I guess it is clean, or was. And this is just real random. Nothing real specific about how I'm doing this. Just, you know, doing it to place flowers or not flowers, I'm sorry. I keep doing that, leaves. And there's no real special thing as far as that you have to place your leaves in a certain spot. You can be as little with that or as much as you want. And this is kind of a different leaf here. I'm just kind of scrolling it up like that, so it's kind of not completely open. Maybe it folded a little bit. And here I'm going to go ahead and turn this to get a nicer looking leaf than what I did when I did my sample. Hopefully I'm keeping this in the proper viewing spot. I really do try to set this up before I do a video. It may not look like it, I'll like it, but I really do try. I think it's kind of a fun pattern though. I like it. And the little rosy buds. I'm just going to do kind of a... I used to know all the parts of these flowers, and now I just feel like I can't remember anything. I think it's kind of cute. Yeah, these petals are pretty easy as far as, you know, I'm just using a couple different types. And then just trying to do some quick little leaves. And if you want to put like a little veining, little stem kind of vein thing in them, you know, that's good too. It doesn't have to be heavy on the leaves. It really doesn't. It can be as heavy as how you want them to look. And if you want it fuller, like I said, it probably makes sense to add some of the greenery behind flower petals before you actually paint them, but you do have to allow that to dry, and that's one reason why a lot of times you're not seeing me do that, because I just want to make sure I get through the video without it being a 2-year process. And really with what I'm doing, I am try to link that there like that. You can flip them upside down, you can flip them, I mean, you probably should try to figure out where the, like that, where the light is hitting, and, you know, base your flowers, you know, the colors, whether you're doing the yellow or the lighter highlight side, on top, bottom. That's not how I wanted it. And you could even do, if you're doing this more like a tree kind of a flower, do the branches in brown if you wanted to. Just it probably depends on what kind of tree the blooms would be coming from. Because I like the combination too of the brown and the green. I think looks very pretty together. And so I just go ahead and add a flower or a leaf petal right there. I guess I'll just stand back and look at it. If you feel like you need some overlapping, you know, that's fine. You know, nature, not everything is separated. You will have, you know, leaves overlapping the blooms or whatnot, so that is quite okay. And if you just want some random things sticking out, that's fine too. I think that's pretty just like that. I mean, I can keep going and adding leaves, but I think you get the gist of it. For the most part, it's I mean, if you want to stick with one type of leaf, that's fine too. I don't tend to like that leaf as much. Sorry, sticking my fingers in it now. And as I mentioned before, this is just a brushstroke demonstration of the flowers that I will be painting on the next Pilsner glass that I paint, which should be, unless something else comes up, should be my next video. I really need to get on a schedule. I just haven't done that yet. My lifestyle, it's kind of hard because I never really know. I'm taking care of an elderly father on top of babysitting my grandchildren and trying to run a business. So got a lot going on, but I'm going to leave this at this. Again, just a quick demonstration to show you the brush strokes for it's some sort of a rose type pattern from a rose, like more of a bushy kind of a plant. And I will be doing this on a Pilsner glass in my next video, as I just mentioned. If you have any questions, I'd love to hear from you. Any comments, please leave them below. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Like it, share it, subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. I would love to have you visit my channel whenever I submit a new video. And I do appreciate you stopping by. Thanks again and have a good evening. Until the next video.